Okay, Pika, the mic's on this time. You missed a lot of show. At minute number 6, I figured out that the mic was muted, and you missed a lot. We were opening the show, fighting over show notes. Read this. Do David Bowie covers in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. I don't know. Crying, Crom knows I'm good. Crom knows I'm good. Crom knows I'm good. Crom may look the other way today. That's awful. The things we do for ratings, you know. Valor pleases you, Crom. So grant me one request. Then the hell with you. Something like that, right? Hey, everyone. Yeah. Why? What does this have to do with comic books? What do you think this has to do with comic books? You know, we have Conan the Barbarian from the Bronze Age. Ain't that cool? Or is this Copper Age? You know what I mean? We'll find out in just a second. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are here at the Comics Coffee Table. And we get silly sometimes. Sometimes it's a little bit more. Sometimes it's a little bit more than a vowel that separates a silly from a Sully. Indeed. So pull up a chair to our coffee table. Grab a cuppa, whatever it is. Let us know what you're putting under your nose. We are using this year we are rebagging, reboarding, and reboxing my entire comic book collection this year. And that's the show. And we're going to learn about grading comic books and about valuing our comic books. And we're going to go down memory lane with a lot of great stuff. And just take a few minutes in our day to embrace escapism, to leave the real world behind for a couple of minutes in a day to talk about one of our favorite things. We come together here at this coffee table and we talk about comic books just for a few minutes a day. It's great. I'm using these 2 books this year. The Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics and the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, most current edition, 52nd edition, to be honest. You will find links to these publications in the description where you can get your own copies and play along at home. I bet you have a big collection too, or any collection that you have, but are they in boxes? Are they in bags? Are they boards? I mean, I've got about 9 long boxes of comic books to rebag, reboard. I had a little panic attack. It's a tiny one, tiniest one, but it was just flared and went away. But I was like, this is daunting. I mean, I have barely touched the long boxes yet, and I've almost filled up 3 short boxes. And it's like, oh my goodness, I need more short boxes, like immediately. And you know what? Part of this show, by the way, these were Christmas presents for my parents. And this season is dedicated to my parents. I love you, Mom. I love you, Hoppy Poppy, my stepdad. And thank you so very much. We're going to use these books all year long and enjoy this. We're going to learn a lot about I love learning about comic books. I'm a lifelong fan, and I keep learning more and more about this hobby of ours and this thing of ours. Hey, awesome. Part of this show is an appeal to you to go to your local comic book shop and spend money. I am redistributing my personal wealth by going to the comic book store, making an effort to go to my comic book store and to buy supplies there, not order them online and have them delivered, but to go to my local comic book shop in my village square. And I know that I am contributing to helping keep my LCS open, and you can too. Because comic book shops, like, when they're gone, they're gone. They're like record stores or like candy stores. It's just, there will always be some kind of like vintage comic book shop, yes, and but the whole face of periodicals, of floppy magazines. Look at this magazine. I mean, be nice to our magazines, exactly. And that's going to change probably pretty soon. But only we can keep our comic book shops open. I just want to say also, I am not a professional grader of comic books. I'm using this as a learning experience, and this show is for entertainment purposes only. If you have any serious questions about grading, I would suggest that you start at your local comic book shop. They can direct you in a more reputable place. If they can't handle that question, they could probably give you a source that could answer your question. I could try too. Maybe if you have a question, comment, leave it in the comment section. I'll look it up. I'll see what I can do about getting an answer for you. And we started with a Coffeetable book last year. And it took us a little while, but we found our footing. And now we have a genuine conversation daily, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, daily. You turn on those notifications. Hey, if you're not subscribed to the channel, why don't you hit that button right now? Just like, I would love to be part of your YouTube day. We genuinely have some great comic book shop style conversations right here. If I'm able to make the 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern premiere of the show and be part of my own live chat, I'm always humbled and blown away by that. I love it. Thank you all for showing up and this wonderful conversation that we keep having. And you can continue it in the comment section too. And we started last year with this book. It's called The Golden Age of DC Comics 365 Days. We would open up to today's date, which is January the 25th. We would look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We would read the blurb, and then we would end up talking about comic books for a few minutes. And like I said, we just started out last year. So on January 25th last year, when we did the same page, I did a 9-minute long episode that got 3 views. That means 2 views in me. And we have a lot of newer viewers. And the reception to this specific book, this 2004 Abrams publication, written and curated by Les Daniels and Chip Kidd, photographed by Jeff Spear. You can find, you guessed it, there's a link to its Amazon page in the description where you can get your own copy. It will look great on your coffee table, because this is where we got the idea for the coffee table. Coffee table book. This has been surfing my coffee table for 2 decades. It was given to me by one of my best friends about 2 decades ago. Seriously. And it's been surfing my coffee table ever since. Coffee table book. Coffee table table. Coffee table. Coffee. Coffee table talk. Pull up a chair. This is our coffee table to talk about comic books. So yeah. And I'm just doing this because I thought it would be fun. Just revisit January real quick. Because you might not have been tuned in last year. And by those numbers, you may not have. But it's great that we can do it now. Let's just real quick. If you've been following the show, you know I love this Mac Rayboy art of Captain Marvel Jr., one of my all-time favorite kid sidekicks. I love the play of the colors versus the major superhero. And, Superman never had a kid sidekick. He didn't get... Superboy didn't come around until 1946 or 1947. Anywho. So, but I love the design of Captain Marvel Jr. I love Mary Marvel. If you can see Mary. Hello. That's Mary Marvel. That's a bust of her. Done in a Japanese anime style, which is great. Bushoujo. Arigato. Onigai shimasu. I love Japanese stuff. Movies. Women. Cartoons. But yeah, this is January 25th. This is the 365 Days book. And it came in very handy. And we gave it a second life. And it got a lot of traction. The response to this book, it's I'm really oh, awesome. So hopefully maybe you get your own copy. And literally, I just put some more Scotch tape in the corner. It's coming off at the corner. I'll let you know if I ever have to buy a new copy. I haven't yet. This is art by Mac Rayboy from the cover of Master Comics, issue number 27, June of 1942. From the bygone days, when the two-fingered V. Stein stood not for peace, but for victory. And all of my British friends here, like David Seymour Hubbins from the heavy metal group Spinal Tap, know that when you do this, it doesn't mean this. Right. I want large bread. Keep folding and folding. Alrighty. From the bygone days when the two-fingered V-Stein stood not for peace but for victory, Captain Marvel Jr. flashes his message before a much more visible version of the same gesture as he battles the Blackout Terror. We can see that. That's from the cover, a Fawcett publication. Yeah, we do. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Thank you so very much. And I found a brown paper shopping bag full of comic books that I saved from a moldering long box. The long box did its job. It took the hit. The comics are fine. Very happy to report. Now, I just need to put them somewhere. What I really need is a short box. So, this is a short box, all right? This is corrugated cardboard. It's made in Canada. This has cost me $7.99, or was it $8.99? $8.99 at the local comic book store, and that's the comic book guy from The Simpsons, And this is how we're going to preserve our comic books. So, you see the lid is inside there, and I'm going to put on a quick demo on how to assemble your short box. So when you are at when you're at your point of sales origin, double check and make sure that the lid is in there. They will offer, or should offer, the staff should be offering would you like me to set that up for you while you're here? You can always say yes. And a good trick is if you buy a box, you can always carry home what you bought in your assembled box. You know, it'll fit. Boxes, boards, bags, or Funnybooks. There you go. Or a DVD, or a Funko Pop, whatever. And, but yeah, there it is. These, I know the long box themselves can support at least 50 pounds. I know that because this is why I'm moving from the long box to a short box. So it's a matter of folding. It does not come with instructions. Actually, it's kind of like, it'll come to you. It came back to me pretty quickly how to do it. You want to fold it. See, these are where your handles will be. Okay. They got matching ones down here. It should still be attached as well. Don't rip it all off. Just pop like that, because you want this. Okay. These are very important to the box itself. This is the bottom, to be sure. This made in Canada. That's the bottom of the box. This is an open top. I'm going to fold this in likewise. And fold it. Fold it in again. Now, if you're having trouble folding it in, it might be because the sides here are in the way. We're just doing that to prep it. So now, the other side, fold in. Alrighty, we will now assemble our box. We'll keep this up. We'll put this down. We'll pull up the flaps. We want to make sure that they are clear for your hands, and then fold in that flap. And there you go. You've now completed the base of your long box where your comic books will fit, like so. The lid, like I said, make sure that the lid is included when you buy it. You're not ripping anything. These might be a little connected, but they should be clean cut. Don't rip. You shouldn't be ripping anything. If it's only that one little part on the flaps at the bottom that require any tear, and it's just, and you'll see the seam. You don't want to rip any more than that. Okay, you'll fold this in. This is the. There you go. We're gonna. Here we go. Sorry about that. Thank you. We fold this in. We fold in those two. You fold that over, and it secures in the tab. Tab A to slot B. That's as old as kindergarten, right? Tab A, slot B. And that's the top of your box. Here we go. See, the opening is there. The box top goes like that. And now we have one fully assembled short box. It's the same method for the long box if you want long boxes. That's how you assemble a short box. Yay. I was going through that brown paper bag filled with comic books that were so improperly stowed. Oh my goodness. When you do that, you get things such as this, like these broken spines. I mean, this is in poor quality. This is just a reading quality. I actually got this. Oh, look at this art, though. I love it. Oh, man. Conan the Barbarian. This stuff is great. And let's look at the indicia just real quick. And look at the ads. This like really brings me back because I was a kid around then. When was this? February of '85. So this probably came out in November on my birthday. I know I did not buy this on my 12th, this would have been on my 13th birthday, huh? No, it would have been 12, yeah, my 13th birthday. Yeah. Secret Wars 2. Indeed. Love the back page here. But yeah, this thing is like beat up. This is like a readable copy. I got this for $10 in a Bronze Age grab bag. It was nice. I didn't. They'll like you'll see one or two. Yeah, you'll see two issues, and there'll be two issues inside of it that you don't know what's in there, and that's what makes it the grab bag. And this was literally another one that I got in the grab bag. You can see that. Look at that corner. But that's Star Trek. DC Star Trek was pretty fun. Love that. Looking more Conan. To hell with you, Crumb. Drive your enemies before you. Hear the lamentations of their women. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. That's an actual Arnold quote. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I found this. I think this needs some immediate bagging and boarding. This is Batman: The Return of Bruce Wayne, a 6-part miniseries from 2010, written by Grant Morrison with 6 guest artists. We're going to look up its value real quick. And I hope you're having a great day. I hope that you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Seriously. Oh, we're at a Batman here. Batman: The Return of Bruce Wayne. Batman Adventures. Batman and the Outsiders. Batman and Robin. Batman Confidential. Curse of the Batman. Okay. The Return, so it would be T Return or Bruce? We're going to find out in a second. Okay, it's T. Batman. Tetris? Batman. The Ankh? Brave and the Bold. Batman the Cult. Good stuff. Oh, Batman the Dark Knight. Batman the Dark Knight Returns. Hey, if you have a near mint 9.2 Dark Knight Returns, it's $150. That's awesome. The R. Okay, the Return. The Return of Bruce Wayne. All right, here we go. One of my least favorite comic books of all time is in here. Oh my God, really? Variant covers can be up to $30, 9.2. But I don't think I have the variant covers. I got first printings here. One of them went to a second printing. Second and third printings, yeah. They're just as much as the first printing. Oh boy. They're all valued at $4. 9.2. If it was a 9.2. These are definitely not up on 9.2. And the cover price was $3.99. Yeah. I had to buy these in a bundle just to get issue number 5. And issue number 5 ended up being the weakest sauce. The worst comic book I've ever... Was it number 4? Let me just double check that. It was... Might have been... No, it was issue 4. Sorry, it was issue 4. The Giorgianti one. That was the Solomon Kane reference. And this was like... I'm sorry, I love Giorgianti's work on Buffy seasons 8 and 9. But this was just... Has the flattest... Most... Like, you know, this is some really awful stuff. I don't know if it's the inker or the colorist. But, you know what I mean? This was... I was looking forward to completing my run. And this completed my run of Grant Morrison's Batman. You know, from like... That was... Yeah. And... This is just the worst single issue of any magazine I've ever bought in my life. Yeah, it was $30 for the bundle. And 4 times 6... Yeah, that's 26. That's, yeah. 20, 4, 6 is 24. So they made $6 on it. And I won. I wouldn't. Well, I'm going to get to bagging these properly. And then they need to remain in... I think they'll need to remain in the Crisis long box. But maybe I can get... Maybe I can get $30 for a bundle if I bundle these. Who knows? Who knows? It'd be too much to ask. That's what I paid for them. But, I mean, they're not in the best condition. And they, you know... Oh, well. Live and learn? All right. Thank you so much. We've been talking about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Oh, broke my heart. My God, so sorry. I mean, $3.99 in let's say January 2010, it's $5.47 today. I mean, yeah, that sucks. Oh well, because it wasn't great anyway. But you know, he kills off Batman at the end of Final Crisis, but he's not really dead. He's really unstuck in time, like Billy Pilgrim, and this is his story of the journey back to Earth Prime after being blasted by Darkseid's Omega Sanction at the end of the final crisis. Indeed. Thank you so very much. Cheers. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you again tomorrow in these very funny pages. Cheers. Bye-bye.